Hello, ladies and gentlemen of the internet and of YouTube, and welcome back to Final Fantasy Chronicles of Eno. I am your host and game master, Skajarmas, otherwise known as Toneshift, and with me today we have our full cast of players. We have Tom117Z playing Rosa, our female Elvon Mithra Watcher.
Stop traumatizing me.
There's a reason the catchphrase for this campaign is y'all need therapy. Anyways, next up we have Mystic playing Aeon, our male Moogle time mage.
All the spiders, but Charlotte is my favorite people.
We have Hades Shadow 92 playing Cassandra, the female human dragoon.
I am having bad times.
I think everyone here is having a bad time. We have Darkness playing Canara, our female Lupin warrior. Who needs to say something.
Hello? Is that delayed or not?
There you go.
For you.
All right.
God damn it.
And last but certainly not least, we have Ari playing Kayana, our female Tarufel engineer.
So many spiders. So many spiders.
Anyways, so really quickly, before we jump into today's session, quick point of order. Darkness is having a wide plethora of technical issues with his laptop, as it is crapped out in numerous ways. So if there are any issues that have to deal with him, we apologize in advance. We'll do our best to just work with it. But regardless, to recap where last we left off, the Freebirds had begun their... excuse me, my brain appears to have died.
God is
my
dead.
laptop.
We are God now.
First the laptop, now the DM, no.
I have joined Aeon in speaking the forbidden language. Anyway.
Wedding.
So, the Freebirds had continued on their journey for the city of Vitae, cutting their way through fields and forest and whatnot. They left from the city of Elvain, and after a couple days of passage through the forest, they briefly came into contact with a caravan on its way from the border between the Vitaean Confederacy and the Empire of Somlana, where they acquired some fun new pieces of gear in the form of a water-breathing amulet from Somlana. After that, they eventually found themselves in the small village of Adarnach, a couple days' travel outside of Vitae. When there, they found themselves being approached and spoken to, at least in for Rosa, Aeon, and Cassandra, by Kaulu, who, after having so much faith paid forward to him last time his presence was unveiled, decided to pay it forward and speak to the party to the fullest extent of his ability and answering whatever questions he could. There's still plenty of mysteries surrounding the familiar, but nonetheless, there is more context and understanding as to what he is and what he is doing now. Following that, the party tucked in for a night of rest, a night that would be disrupted in a very upsetting manner, as the Freebirds would find themselves under attack in the middle of the night, or rather, Rosa would find herself the potential victim of a kidnapping, as a horde of undead spiders and the harpies they encountered on the road several days prior attempted to abscond with her in the middle of the night at the behest of a towering centaur of a spider woman. In the end, the attack was averted and only one innocent civilian died, which is a lot better of an outcome than it potentially could have been. And the spider fled north into the woods, citing that unless the Freebirds gave chase, then she would come back to slaughter the inhabitants of this village. Seeing that for the bait that it is, however, the Freebirds seem disinclined to heed that invitation. And it is upon that note, as you are all sort of dealing with the immediate aftermath of that and coming down from your highs of adrenaline and tension, that we shall enter. So, Freebirds. It is still nighttime, middle of the night. You are all worn out, tired, kind of battered, but otherwise fine. Your last discussions have ended. You have a couple of spectators sort of looking on from the pantry and kitchen areas of the inn, the Lucky Carbuncle that you're staying in, but they seem to be keeping their distance from you for the time being in the aftermath of Cassandra's little meltdown. What do you wish to do?
Cassandra.
Hades, you're muted.
Sorry. She hasn't answered.
At some point, I would like to speak to you.
Still doesn't answer.
Just a note. It is not a request, it is an order. I will give you some time for a breather. I will not let this slide.
She just continues to look out the window.
We need to do something because she's going to come back and then it's going to kill everyone and it's going to be my fault.
Rosa,
But
calm yourself.
can we do something, Canara?
Well, it's clear what we must do. We need to talk to the one in charge and evacuate this place. It is no longer safe. I advise taking them to the nearest town, where they'll be more safe.
Nearest town is Vitae, which is about as safe as it gets because walls and ranges and the
Exactly. But first, we need to
airships and cannons and swords and pokey things and magic and
I am awares. This may deviate us in a ways, but we cannot leave the innocents here. If that abomination does come back, they will not stand a chance, especially if it brings more help with it. And I am for one not wish to pursue something that could easily get the advantage over us, or is clearly a trap. So, let us find who is in charge and have words.
As a reminder, the innkeeper did run off at the end of last session to go find the headman, she said, so.
That's why Cassandra's just waiting.
For anyone paying attention, you will all notice Tiermith just kind of quietly slinking off for the door.
yeah. Where are you going?
He sort of glances at Cassandra, his wings ruffle a bit, and then he scurries out.
Yeah, she's going after him.
While you do that, it appears that our little talk may not have to wait. Looking at Cassandra.
So Rosa,
Yeah,
you go.
Rosa is going out after him.
Yeah, you go jogging out after Tyr, and go ahead and make for me an awareness check.
It's 13.
13? Oh yeah, that beats the stealth roll he made. Alright, so Casting your eyes about, it doesn't take you long to spot him. He's clearly trying to just kind of stay out of line of sight and be hidden, but he's not doing a very good job. You lift your eyes up, and you can see that he's leapt up into a nearby tree and has just coiled himself around a branch.
Here? Don't run away, please.
You just need a bit.
Yeah, but I don't think we have a bit right now. Kind of gonna climb the tree and sit next to him.
Alright. Takes you a bit, but you're able to climb up the tree. Kind of set your back against the trunk since he's occupying most of the branch with his long body.
We'll be better at that. She never shouted at you like that before. And you see Rose is clearly trying to put on a brave face right now, but she's still absolutely terrified.
Not that I can remember. Like, she's raised her voice from time to time, usually if I was about to do something really stupid. You know, like getting in trouble or whatever. Hasn't yelled at me like that in a long time, though. I don't like it.
Neither did I.
I'll be alright. I just need a minute to calm down, that's all.
I stay here a while.
If those things are coming after you, you'll probably be safer inside with everyone else. If anything tries to attack me, I've got wings. I can fly out.
I'd rather take a minute to breathe.
Alright.
She's just gonna sit there silently next to him for a while, kind of slow breaths in and out. Her pupils dilate into cat slits. We're just trying to control her breathing.
Kind of following the advice Kayana gave you way back in Windurst.
Mm-hmm.
As you're sitting there taking your breaths, the tip of Tiamat's tail will kind of slide over until it's like resting against your boot in range of your hand.
Place her hand on top of his tail.
Kind of coils around your palm a bit like a life rope or something.
Just kind of takes the grip, though doesn't really break her stare, going forward. Very much taking the lifeline for what it's worth, anyway.
All right. Anything else going on inside?
I think Canara wanted to try to talk to Cassandra.
Indeed. Which, at this point, she's probably sitting down aside where Cassandra is, with a very serious look on her face. Whether you like it or not, I have some words to say to you. And whether you respond or not is up to you.
Still looking out the window.
To be plainly honest, I am very disappointed in you. And hang on a sec.
Jimmy came into his room. Yep.
Yep, as always. I'm back. So. And it's not just because of your little outburst earlier, causing unnecessary collateral damage. I feel that you have forgotten the words I said back in Morosu. That we all make mistakes, but it's not healthy to accept all the blame yourself. And in this case, you're certainly not. After all, I merely suggested to stay here, if you recall. But even if we didn't, have you not considered that if we just passed by without a second thought about this place, if we weren't here, everyone could have been slaughtered anyway? We're clearly being pursued. I do not know how, but clearly they know wherever we are going, they will find us. And if they happen to come across anyone else, to them, nothing but just more unfortunate victims.
How many people died tonight?
Unfortunately, one has perished, but it could have been everyone if we didn't prevent these creatures from doing so.
Why couldn't we prevent his?
Sometimes you can't always save everyone, Cassandra. Trust me.
She gives you a sideways glance. You know my story, I know that all too well.
Indeed. Trust me. I am sorry for your loss and I feel your pain. Facebook, shut the fuck up.
Carry on.
For it is a pain I know far too well myself. You should know.
I'm sick of it.
Indeed.
I'm sick of people dying for no reason.
You're not the
She
only one.
sent those things in here to kill all because she could. There's no strategic value, no reason, just because she could, to piss us off. And I hate that. And now we have to drag these people away from their homes because of a threat she made. It's not fair.
Life is never fair. That's pretty much the definition of Lupin culture. But I can assure
Humans
you,
aren't that much different.
perhaps not. But at least most of you would have a roof over their heads. And a place to call home. Even better ways to defend themselves. Where I'm from, you either get strong or you die. We don't have the joy of just settling down, thinking everything's gonna be alright. As for your mentioning of no strategic value, the way I see it, not only was it to harm the poor citizens of this place, but clearly she tried to use it as a way to distract us from her escape. Perhaps even to split us up enough where being separated from each other, she may get a few successful kills of her own against us. Nevertheless, we controlled the situation as best we can, and we managed to save everyone else. It is unfortunate that one of the patrons had perished. It was beyond our control. Best we can do now is help the rest of these people and keep our heads leveled. For it's far from over. That thing is still out there. And as long as it lives, there will be no peace. And I need you to be strong, Cassandra. Not just for me, not just for yourself, but everyone here. Can you prove to me that my faith in you will not falter?
I don't know. Ever since Dad died, they kicked us out of Garland. I don't know. Really, if my confidence died with him. Sure, I put on a brave face and tried to act tough, but I mean, you saw what happened when things don't go our way. Just violence, and tantrums, and
oh, trust me, I know. Even I strayed down that path. The difference is I feel I've done more things I definitely regret.
my father was a great paladin, was the king's most trusted warrior. My great-grandfather was part of the legendary team that saved the world. Looking, I doubt anybody can really see anything of them in me.
Canara put a hand on your shoulder. Don't you ever think that and feel that you have pressure on your shoulders, thinking you're in someone else's shadow? I've seen what you are capable of. You are brave, skilled, can be quite sarcastic and a show-off now and then, but you also have a heart. That cares. And even raised two young'uns by your side who depend on you and see you as family. Which, even if you see that as a minor thing, I see that as a wonderful thing, and defines you who you are, regardless what others say. Am I wrong, or am I right?
She just looks back at the window and doesn't speak anymore.
Right. Could you at least accept a bit of advice? Or, to be more precise, would you want to take part in something I'm willing to teach you?
She gives you a sideways glance.
Thanks to a certain someone who has taught me this most recently, I find it at least helps and puts my mind at peace. But you see her presenting a position you've seen her done before, a meditation-like stance of such. But you would like it if you can join me. I know it's a bit of a strange request, but it's no harm in trying it. Might even clear your mind a bit.
She's going to sigh and get up. But before she turns to you, you see her take off the scarf that she wears around her neck, takes her braid, and with her hands behind her head, wraps her braid in a bun and ties it with the scarf. And just turns to you and doesn't say anything. Just waiting for you to take the lead.
Okay. Follow my lead. And with that, she resumes a meditation stance and then pretty much tells you to take deep, slow breaths through your mouth and nose and have your eyes closed.
She does so.
And probably instructs to do this for like at least as long as it takes. She would say a couple of minutes, but she's giving you the benefit of, time.
As it so happens, a couple of minutes is about all you're going to get at this juncture. Back outside, as that conversation is winding down, Rosa, up on the branch you joined Tyr on, you've been steadily catching your breath and trying to wind down, though there's still that ever-present tension and jitteriness. But as you're kind of just waiting, you glance down and you see the innkeeper returning, and hot on her heels, you see a tall, elderly-looking Elvon man, bald head, sort of wearing a darker clothes and just a very severe expression on his face. Judging by sort of a air that follows him around, you would assume that to be the headman. You want to do anything, Rosa?
Tom's muted.
Fuck.
Tom.
Twink it.
Oh dear.
No!
British elf man.
He's unmuted.
Are you there?
He is unmuted, but there is no noises. Concerning.
What fuck?
Perhaps his Discord is shitting?
Oh, again.
Can you at least hear
Okay,
us?
I guess.
Now he's mute and deafened.
Oh.
Meow.
Oh, technical difficulty screen, I guess.
Oh.
Yep. Gonna go to the technical difficulty screen and pause the recording until he's back.
Ding.
Alright, we got Tom back. Let's resume, shall we?
Or technically went. Things happened.
Yeah, you never technically went, but things happened. And now the things are not happening, so.
So apparently plugging my laptop in decided to make my laptop go blah, blah, blah. Anyway. Hi, Fluffy.
Who hurt the fly?
Yeah, speaking
Anyway,
of Fluffy,
so-
Fluffy's like curled up at the base of your tree at the moment.
Makes sense. Good bird. So yeah, so I'm seeing older elven guy and innkeeper coming. Yeah.
Yep, you see the innkeeper coming back, and she's leading who you presume to be the headman based on just his bearing.
Kind of watching them go for a moment. Assume they're going into the inn.
Yeah, the innkeeper's leading the way. She has a lantern to sort of light the path. The innkeeper, the headman looks rather tired, but focused all the same. They're speaking to each other in hushed voices.
She's just silently still controlling her breathing, just watching them go at the moment.
They don't seem to notice you or tear up in the tree as they head for the door.
Probably say at this time they somewhat got out of the meditation stance about a few seconds before they enter.
You'd been meditating for a couple minutes when they enter.
Yeah.
And keeper sort of leading the way. All right. Here's the headman, and here they are. Where's the other one?
Oh. She
went outside for a little bit. She should be back soon, Koopa.
All right.
Yeah.
I just imagine Kai just like sitting down, just trying to breathe.
The bald-headed Elvon steps forward, sort of surveys the sort of the chaos of the interiors. There is a lot of things that are just kind of scattered across the floor as people were fleeing for their lives.
Spiders.
And a few dead spiders scattered throughout the room, yes. And a very
Yay.
eviscerated harpy just kind of half in the doorway leading out into the kitchen. Looks around at everyone for a moment. Who here speaks for your group?
I do. I am Canara Fangblade.
A pleasure. I'm Headman Iroh.
Pleasure to meet you, sir.
Now, if you would be so kind as to explain to me what has happened here. I'm told that this inn was attacked by undead spiders and harpies.
Yes, unfortunately. Led by a much larger monstrosity. And I fear that this will not be the last they attack this place. Your people are in danger. Which is why I feel it's probably for the best they evacuate till the threat is neutralized.
That would be an extremely large ask of these people. Either of the largest cities are several days' travel away.
I am sorry to give you the grave news, but I feel it is the best option. Rest assured my group would also help to enforce to keep them safe.
Well, as headman of Adonach, I have more than just your opinion I have to take into consideration.
That is understandable.
I ask this of you. Do you believe we are at any risk of a follow-up attack tonight?
It is uncertain. However, we have weakened their numbers, but I do not know how many there are. And the large foe did get away, as he seemed highly intent to return.
Well, regardless, I cannot make any decisions regarding this in the middle of the night when my people know nothing of what's going on.
Then, perhaps, if they're all kept in a safe place, allowed to rest till morning, me and my group shall keep watch. If you have any armed individuals that can also keep an eye out. More eyes are better than a few.
We have a militia. They'll keep their eyes peeled. As for the rest of you, I would like you all to stay here until the morning. I'll call a meeting at first light. The whole town can weigh in. We'll decide what to do.
Alright, sorry, I just got back. What did I miss?
The headman's talking to Canara. She's taking the lead in the conversation.
Very well. I shall respect your wishes and remain here.
So you will. Then Iroh turns back to the innkeeper. Tanola, do you have anything to add? You were here for all of this. Only that from what little I saw of them, they're very good in a fight. Well then, that'll be good to know. Then the headman turns to the people still sort of cloistered in the kitchen, calls out to them. If I were a betting man, I would wager that our uninvited guests are not likely to make any returns tonight. We have some time at least. Return to your homes and get some rest. We'll meet in the town square come first light. Bring anyone you believe will be willing to contribute to the discussion. Go on. Bit by bit, the still very much frightened citizenry start to shuffle out and make their way out. A few sort of cast to your group glances as they're going. Some offer thankful nods. A few just sort of shoot glances before hurrying out. Not a whole lot is being said, though. I am told that there's a Solwyn Athil among your number. Is that the one who's outside?
Yes. Her name's Rosa. But I also must point out, unfortunately, we were unable to save one of your patrons, I'm afraid.
So I heard.
Do you at least receive a respectful burial?
We'll do what we can for him, but well, he wasn't of this town. He was a traveler like yourselves, to my knowledge. We'll see if we can't figure out where he's from, and if at all possible, have his remains sent back.
Thank you. Trust that you have much to do and wish to speak to Rosa, so I make sure the rest of us get some rest.
He gives a little nod.
And we will
Then I bid you good night.
see you at the meeting. And good night to you, sir.
And he turns and strides out, leaving just you all and the innkeeper. Right, can I get you anything?
Well, I suppose nothing too fancy, just something to eat and water would be fine for me.
I think I can do that.
About the rest of you.
Yeah, I just need something to eat right now. Yeah, she's still.
Alright, I think I can manage that. Make yourselves as comfortable as you can, I guess. I'll be back in a bit. And then she goes and makes her way back into the kitchen. Outside, Rosa. You witness the people from the kitchens shuffling back out and starting to scatter out into the town. A moment later, the headman comes back out, casts his eyes about, clearly looking for something.
She kind of just lets out a breath. Yes, what? She's looking for me. She was the one who said, tell the headman someone fills here. So, with that in mind, she's going to. I'll give a glance at Tyr. Is he just curled up still?
Yeah, he's still coiled around the branch. Glances back at you. Go on, I'm not going anywhere.
Going to wordlessly kind of gently free her hand from his little coil give him a scratch on the head. With another sigh, just kind of hop from the branch to the ground and approach the headman.
You sort of come to a landing. Fluffy jumps a bit.
Right, girl. Just need to go talk to some guy.
Fluffy sort of picks herself up and walks beside you as you approach the headman. He gives you a glance up and down as you're approaching. Rosa Solwinethil, I take it?
That would be me. Yes.
He looks at you for a few moments. I can see the family resemblance.
Mika, I've been told.
Mostly. There is some of Neothil, though. I can see that much.
Mostly beers.
I must admit, I was not expecting a Solwinethil to come through our little town.
I was on my way to Vitae to visit family.
I'm given to understand that these creatures came here for you. Do you have any idea why?
Yeah. I don't know how commonplace in terms of knowledge it is around Vitae. Orgol mean anything to you?
His expression rapidly darkens. Aye. The name Forgol rings familiar.
Good. Enemy of Warrior of Light, my grandmother Neophil, murderer of my parents, supposedly.
The name has become
And-
something of a boogeyman over the last 20 years.
Well, he's not dead, clearly. Well, as much as a necromancer is. It was supposed to be being dealt with. My great-grandmother, Canara Blackstorm, was hunting him. He was supposed to be in Volia. Apparently, he was here waiting for me. Because through me, well, it wouldn't take much to guess who else he'd have access to, who he might have a grudge against. Maybe he just didn't want to leave the job half done. I don't know.
Can you be certain that
game-
he is present?
Not 100%, but that spider thing wanted to take me somewhere specific. I don't think it's too far away. Who else? They said specifically they wanted the Child of Light. Oh,
And you would fit that bill, wouldn't you?
how else are you gonna get to Warrior of Light through their children?
Only one warrior of light left for that trick to work on.
Guy, pretty dead set on picking a fight with on my knee. I don't know what my compatriot said to you in there, but she made threats that if I didn't give myself up to them, that they would return. Obviously a trap, but I very much believe the return part.
I have heard from your Lupin friend, your group's intentions. But I have more than just your opinions to concern myself with. I'm in charge of this town. I have to take into consideration what's best for all of my people. There will be a meeting held in front of the town hall at first light. Your group has been invited to participate in the discussion. The community will figure out what to do from there.
Don't take too long deciding, because every time I so much as hear that man's name, every cell in my body screams. Some instinctual level even I don't get entirely. From everything, every instinct tells me he'll be back, and if he can, he'll turn every single man, woman, and child in this village into the cog in his undead machine. If it gets what he wants. And what he wants is me and Phil.
Well, there'll be time enough to discuss all of that in the morning. For now, your friends are waiting for you inside. Go and get some rest.
Come on, Fluffs.
The headman kind of watches you go as you make your way back inside, and then turns and walks off. So the rest of you see Rosa coming back into the inn.
Ah, Rosa. Welcome back.
Needed some air. Here for a bit.
How is he holding up?
Glances at Cassandra. Something you should ask him, I think.
See.
I mentioned Forgal to the headman, that certainly seemed to get a reaction, so my chances they're gonna go with our plan.
We can hope. It is their choice at the end of the day. They do seem to be a bit negligent of leaving. I will say some words. If it holds any weight, of course.
A lot.
But until then, we have been ordered to remain here. With that said, I would advise you keep up your strength. Eat and drink whatever you wish. We may have a long walk tomorrow, and keeping an eye out for any dangers if they do go along with it. Which, forgive me if it does seem that we are straying off the path a bit, but we can't just simply leave them. Not to shame their military might. I just feel that they may not be fully...
The task of taking on an army of undead and a necromancer that's capable of taking on a warrior of light?
Yeah, pretty much. I feel that they're a little bit inadequate for this sort of combat encounter.
Town.
Which I will also need your permission on something, Rosa.
And that is?
There might not be, say, enough carts or room for people to travel in, so would you mind if some would travel in our cart?
They'll ask me, I'm not the leader here.
True. But I know who always likes to run the rails of Fluffy.
Fluffy will follow, just do what you're gonna do.
Fair enough then.
And Kai, you alright? Yeah, Kai.
Oh, sorry, I just heard Kai. I didn't hear Aeon, sorry.
The
Sorry. Yeah, I was
Asked
trying
if
to fix
Aeon and
Mike because the wind was blowing friggin'.
That's fine.
Hmm.
The wind is blowing.
Aeon's just close to Cassandra.
Yeah, Kai's trying to calm down, especially after seeing the freaking undead spider.
Hey, hon.
Hmm.
Is Cassandra's spear, like, heavy enough that you don't think Aeon could lift it?
I mean, he has levitate for telekinesis.
Like, I just want him to just, like, I guess, holding, like, her spear, just waiting until she's ready.
I mean, I can imagine if he just puts his arms around the front of it, he can float it up to the point where it's hovering off the ground. Or again,
Yeah.
telekinesis.
Yeah, no, that's fine. It's about pretty much he's just holding it and just waiting.
Yeah, because she just dropped it over there by the window.
Mhm.
She didn't even bother picking it up.
Noises.
So, Cassandra, did the meditation help?
She doesn't say anything, just gets up and just without looking at any of you, just says, "Those who want to eat, do whatever. Try to get some sleep." Emphasis on try. And she starts walking off towards where the rooms would be.
gonna just look up behind Cassandra and wrapping her arms around her. I'll just kind of hug her from behind. Pulling her from moving.
Before
She-
you both go, I would feel more comfortable if we all slept in the same room tonight.
Because Rosa is currently stopping Cassandra from going by hugging her from behind.
Cassandra is not moving anymore, but does not acknowledge anything.
Thank you for worrying about me. I need to talk to Tia. We're all hurting. Please don't, in anger or whatever, is the rest of us off. Again.
Canara's right. All of you should stay in one room. Preferably with the beds closer, so no more things can sneak up on us in the middle of the night.
Yes. Which, forgive me, it seems my senses have failed on that.
You weren't the one in the room. Again, whoever can stomach food now, go ahead. I'll be in the farthest room down. Just tries to...
Why? That's where we want you. That's literally as farthest away from where we want you. I need you.
Sorry, Cassandra. I respect your space, but I can only rest comfortably knowing that we're all together. What's that? What was that?
That is called a car. And it is coming from Tom's mic.
That was the
Was it
parking lot. That was the church parking lot right outside my bedroom window. I have no say in what happens out there. I'm sorry. Ignore me. Carry on.
That is the
It's
most
just-
furious freaking honk I've heard for a long time.
It's just like it's the tension. It's like trying to figure this out, and then just beep 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 beep. I'm like,
I-
okay,
when
we're
I-
that was
going.
on-
When I heard that, my first instinct was, please tell me my players didn't hear that, and then
And then everyone starts laughing.
I didn't want to say anything, but as soon as everyone laughed, I couldn't help.
When it breaks the tension, it kind
Yeah.
Literally,
Alright,
I was
back.
just spaced out.
of.
Okay.
I was just spaced out and I heard the beep, beep. I'm like, what the hell?
Alright.
Wow.
Re-engage
I'm
depression mode.
yeah, I'm gonna close that fucking window. Carry on.
Where were we?
We were being depressed, and Cassandra saying she wanted to sleep in the furthest bedroom away.
Alright, Rosa
And
then
And
said
Rosa,
that
and
means
Rosa, and Rosa and Canara saying no.
response.
And she's just okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
I don't need you to be a leader or any sort of lofty thing. I just want my big sister.
She tenses at Big Sister.
I think you have a little brother that needs you too.
She's shaking now.
The fear or anger, which kind of shaking.
You don't know.
She's still hugging you from behind.
And after about a minute, those who could see the front of her, or a side view, could see tears starting to drop on the floor.
Oh. Canara slowly walks up and really pats you on the back in a way. It's okay. Don't feel
More
ashamed
tears.
of your tears. Let it all out.
She is holding her breath. The tears are still falling, but she is trying very hard not to make a sound.
Cassandra. It's okay to cry.
And at that word, she is going to immediately turn around, grab you in the tightest hug she can possibly think of, and collapse to her knees, taking you with her and crying.
I don't even have to hold out a gesture of hug. She's hugging you.
She is crying into your hair and shoulder and just holding you by the head and the waist, just holding you so very tight.
It's okay, Cassandra. I'm here. They didn't get me. I'm here. Hello. Isn't much better.
I almost lost another one.
presume Aeon's kind of fluttering in around now.
No. Did feel that this was a personal hug thing, but even she couldn't help as she was already starting to have tears at this, so she slowly kneels down and gives you both a hug.
And what's Aeon doing in this?
He's just nearby. He just feels bad, but he knows to like when to give Cassandra space, but he sees like everyone else comforting her, so he's just staying by.
Flower looks up. Don't you want to join in the hug, Aeon? Don't feel shy to do so.
He puts down her spears gently so it doesn't like crash on the ground. He just tries to squeeze in like a hug somewhere.
I'll
Guy's
probably
gonna
open up
join
the
in as
space.
well after she calms down.
Yeah. Coincidentally, Canara just gives you a look. It's like. Doesn't even say a word.
She needs this. Get over here.
Yep.
I don't know why I just her dragging Kai in this.
And Kai's just rolling her eyes.
Yep. I feel that too. Probably in her mind thinking, we all need therapy.
Yeah, the noise that I think is quite commotion in and of itself. Any sign of tear? All this?
Yeah, Cassandra is not being quiet anymore. She is like wailing.
That depends. Roll for me an awareness check, Cassandra, for Tiamat.
I don't think we've ever had.
Do I get the 3d6?
Sure, yeah.
I don't think we've ever had Cassandra just be so open with her sadness as much as
Yeah,
This
This
is
is-
the first time she's open
This
to
is
us.
probably the first time you've seen Cassandra like not holding back anymore, and she's just letting it out.
Like, she's cried before, yeah, but there was usually
Yeah,
some
but
measure of composure.
in private,
This
most
is
of the
beyond
time.
crying. This is bawling and wailing and just not
Yeah.
holding back anymore.
From what I
Yes.
recall, she always sheds a tear, but never for us to see.
Oh, hold on. Fuck that.
I think this is the bottle bursting.
The
13.
bottle has overflowing.
13. Okay. After a couple minutes, anyone who casts a glance toward the door will eventually see Tiamat sort of timidly coming in. Doesn't say anything, but
Tear.
quietly slithers over to the pile. Hesitates on the edges of it for a moment. Then he'll just do that noodle thing he does and weave his way into it.
And as soon as Cassandra feels scales probably rubbing up against her face or whichever part she could probably notice
The main thing you notice is his large wings sort of wrapping around the entire group. Big
And
protective blanket.
as soon as she hears that or like notices his presence, you just Rosa and possibly everybody can probably just hear this constant I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry.
Don't have to apologize for anything. Not our fault. And we're here for you. I'm just glad you finally decided to open up.
I'm sorry. I couldn't protect you, Rosa. I yelled at you. I just threw a fucking tantrum like a teenager.
It's
I'm
okay.
sorry, Grandpa.
Note whatever happens, you will always be forgiven. We always be here for you.
Hey. What if I mess up again? What if I can't save you next time?
I don't know. But what choice is there but to try?
Only thing you can do is make sure you succeed. Right?
Exactly.
She just holds Rosa's head and just like, I swear, I won't let anything bad happen to you or any of you. I can't lose anyone else. Please stay. Go.
You have my word. As a fang blade, I will stay. And I feel the West would do the same. And rest assured, your grandfather will be proud of you. Who you become.
Now then,
Anybody else gonna respond?
Is just silent for the most part because I mean, what can she say? I mean, she's internally dealing with a lot right now. I mean,
after
between her own terror and now Cassandra's own added to that.
after a bit, Tiermouth kind of pulls his head back a bit. I think we should get some rest. We only have so long until first light, and we need to be rested for that.
Tyr speaks the truth. I'm glad you let out all your emotions. But it's time to dry those tears. Try to get some sleep. We will be by your side. Besides, we're gonna have a busy morning ahead of us. Best to replenish our strength.
Okay.
Alright. So if there's nothing else, then you'll all gradually disentangle from your little pile and distribute yourselves around the room. I assume you're sleeping in the common room this time, just getting your bedrolls out and stuff.
Yep. Making it comfortable and just moving some tables and chairs out the way.
Yeah, Tanala doesn't do anything to stop you.
Rosa's not going to sleep a damn wink.
But when they start to settle down, like Cassandra comes over to your bedroll and just hugs you from behind. She just wants to make sure you're safe.
He doesn't do anything to protest it. I mean, you might notice as the night goes on, like various points where her breathing starts to get dangerously close to hyperventilation before she do a bit harder. Use Kai's breathing technique and calms herself down for a little while before it starts over, and it kind of goes in a cycle throughout the night.
I would say.
Cassandra just instinctively, like, tries to hug you in her sleep when you start hyperventilating.
All right. And with that, you all bunker down, and you manage to take a full rest. HP and MP fully restored, though energy levels not necessarily following suit, as it is a relatively short rest, as you were well into the darkness before that all happened, and you spent a while working through all those things. Nonetheless, it's enough rest in a safe environment to be back to fit fighting shape. You eventually find yourselves being pulled from your slumber by the sound of the front door popping open of the inn. An individual pokes their head in, elven male. The meeting's about to start. I was asked to go and round people up.
Point out that. Oh, well, a little early, but he's in a meditating stance and looks up. Oh, right. No worries, Haru. The others will be along shortly.
All right.
Thank you.
Tanala? I'll be with them. All right.
Everyone, it's time. We need to head to the meeting.
Cassandra just looks over to Rosa.
I mean, just as awake as when you first held up to her. Kind of grits her teeth, closes her eyes for a moment. Very large black bags beneath them. For reaching for her bow, untangling herself from you and just sticking on her back. Get this over with.
Yeah.
I am
Cassandra.
ready.
Cassandra gets dressed, but looks down at her spear and just picks it up and puts it on her back, but just hesitantly. Yes, it is very sad music, and you made me cry this session, damn you.
You wonder why, in between all this, we have weird cookie stuff. Because we need the weird cookie stuff to come down from this shit.
Yeah. Especially me, I'm emotional wreck.
Regardless, so you all gather up your things, shake off what grogginess you can, before setting out into the early dawn light of Adernach. It is a cold, cloudy day. There is a thick fog that sort of rolled in over the town overnight, seeming southward moving. So as you're moving through, sort of slowly dampening up from the moisture in the air, the distant firelight of lanterns and torches that have been lit up to help people navigate in the night, and just in general, stand out in the distance as these eerie blooms of flickering orange before they resolve into the light of fires as you draw closer, guiding your path. Tanala follows close behind your group, sort of tired looking, but all the same, just focusing forward. And as you're going, she's sort of pointing out the right turns to get to the town center. Not that you'd need much direction. It's a pretty small town. It only takes you a couple of minutes to make it to the village center. And you can hear it long before you arrive, the sound of people talking to one another. And you can already kind of sense this air of tension and confusion in the people assembled. You come around a bend, and up ahead you see the sort of large sort of a central location that sort of straddles the main sort of highway that cuts through the village center. Sort of off to the side, you can see the largest building in the village. You assume to be the town hall. You can see Headman Iro standing in front of the door of that building. You can see another individual standing beside him. Human man, also balding in the head, but looking to be significantly younger, wearing sort of this padded leather armor, has a rapier at his side, talking to the headman in hushed voices. And you can see several dozen men and women, and even like a couple of children, though not very young, like 12 or so years old, sort of scattered around in that crowd. Tanala sort of takes the lead as you're approaching. We're here. Have we missed anything? No, nothing yet. We've been waiting for you. It's at about this point that someone in the crowd, sort of a rotund individual, steps forward, sort of wearing markedly finer clothes than everyone else around him. Steps up. So, is anyone going to explain to me why we're all up so early? Of course. Everyone, last night our village was attacked, specifically at the Lucky Carbuncle. A string of undead marched into the village from the north and tried to make off with the traveler in the inn. Only one person died, thankfully, and he nods to your group. These fine adventurers here were able to fend off the worst of the attack. Regardless, however, the danger is not yet past. I'm given to understand, based on their report of the situation, that these enemies were led by a larger creature, some sort of spider, and that it promised to return and attack our village again, this time with a focus on civilians. We're all gathered here now to discuss our response. And I believe our guests have a recommendation.
Cassandra is going to step forward and look to Canara. Watch Rosa for a second, okay?
Are you sure you want to do this?
I'm the leader. I have to take responsibility. And she moves through the crowd to the podium where the elder is standing.
All right. So I'm trying to find appropriate music. So what does Cassandra say?
When she gets up there, she takes a deep breath. I know this isn't fair, but this is the truth. If you stay here, you'll die.
A definite sort of murmur of alarm goes through the crowd.
But here is our offer. My team and I will protect you all and help you reach Fateh. The rangers there will be much more equipped to be dealing with large forces like this. And the whole city of skilled beings who will keep you safe until whatever this danger has passed.
pretty much immediately someone's voice rises up from the crowd. Hold on, you're saying we have to leave at a notch?
She looks at the person. Yes.
It's not exactly a short journey.
I realize the journey will not be quick or easy, but I implore you, please listen to me. This being is powerful, it's sadistic. It sent its minions against the people in the inn instead of fighting us. For no reason at all other than just because it could.
At this point, the rotund man from before sort of lets off a humph of irritation. All right, well, that's all a very interesting story. Can you prove it? Need to remind you, you're a stranger here in this town. We don't know you. Tanala
Yes.
quickly pipes up. I was there in the inn, and so were a lot of the people here. They saw the attack happening in real time. We owe our lives to these people. We can at least hear them out. Ugh.
I understand you don't know me. I'm a stranger. And if I were you, I'd be questioning me too. But I can assure you that these things are real. And they are powerful. They control the undead. And they will come back with possibly even greater forces. So
Well,
please,
What do they even want with us?
nothing. They don't want you. They want us. But us leaving isn't going to stop them from coming back and doing it anyway.
It's at about this point that the armored individual besides the headman sort of steps up. Well, pardon me, introductions are in order. Militia Master Gallimar. He holds a hand out to you.
Jeeve accepts it. Cassandra.
Right. Well, I surveyed the scene of the fighting myself while you were all resting, mostly around the outside, so as not to disturb you. The bodies definitely speak for themselves. The attack was, well, the enemies are things such as harpies and spiders. If we're dealing with the undead or a necromancer of some description, then we can expect whatever we're fighting to be rather varied. In fact,
The necromancer's name is Forgol.
all eyes shoot to Rosa, and a very thick tension settles over the area at that name.
That's who you're dealing with. That's why you should run.
I thought Fulgol was dead. Wasn't he killed by Neothil?
Well, that's the thing about necromancers. I'm dead. He was never alive to begin with.
Gallimar continues. Well, the point I was trying to get to is that, considering what we're dealing with, I'm not entirely sure packing our bags and heading for the big city is actually our best option in terms of defense.
You
The
can't
entire-
expect to stay here and defend yourself.
Hear me out. Just listen for a minute. I've been doing this sort of thing for a long time. A lot of this town is comprised entirely of simple farmers and just mundane people. They're not used to an intense pace and won't be able to keep up with a soldier's march. And the entire group would have to move at the same speed as the slowest member. And we don't have enough chocobos to mount all 200 to 300 people in this town, nor do we have anywhere near enough wagons to accommodate that. If we go out there, we'll be on the road for several days. That's several days where we don't have the protection of walls or choke points, where our enemy has the advantage of cover and deforestation to blend in and before springing an attack. We'd be sitting ducks out there.
You do make a good point.
I agree it's not ideal.
What I propose is instead of making our way as a large, slow-moving and massive target to one large city, we instead send 2 riders on Chocobo back as fast as they can to Vitae and Elvain. They can petition for aid. The rest of us here, we know the lay of the land, we know our town. We can set up fortifications.
Send out 2 scouts and fortify this location.
The ringleader,
Yes. The plan does seem logical. Of course, we need to keep everyone in a safe distance in the center of town, where all the guards would patrol the walls and keep anything out.
Problem, of course,
If
is
you
that we
want to
don't...
corral, you're intent on defending this place and you want to corral them to a specific place, there is a way you can do that, I think.
Right. Unfortunately, we
By all
don't
means.
have a wall around this town. It's too small for that, and we've never had need of one.
Then perhaps we could set traps and other forms of fortification around this place, at least to delay them.
That's what I was imagining. Put enough people to it, dig out some pits, fill them with spikes. Barricade
assist
certain
with that.
streets to force the enemy into certain choke points so we don't have to worry about being flanked.
And you just need some bait to push them in the right direction. I think I can volunteer for that.
The moment she hears bait, Cassandra immediately jumps to Rosa and lands in front of her. No.
Sandra, if we're going to stay here and defend it, they're going to find me one way or another. It'd be better to use that. Stop it before they just hide in a closet.
I'm not using you as bait.
In some ways, perhaps you don't have to. We have a good idea where that thing came from, so theoretically it could come from the same direction once more. If we just stand a bit of a distance by the defenses, we could lure it out and keep it at bay. Perhaps even some of them may fall into the traps if it does bring reinforcements.
Either way, Aeon?
I think I could help, maybe. What if instead of using Rosa as bait, couldn't I make an illusion of her, Koopa?
Think you can do that?
I could try. I don't really get much practice with it, but I can do it. It is one of the things I can do.
We could use my visage to lead the big one into a choke point. Somewhere we can capture.
Yes.
Cassandra looks to the crowd.
There is a
there
great... Go on.
Is there any stockpile of certain combustibles, alcohol, explosives, gunpowder, anything?
Tanala pipes up. Well, in terms of alcohol, we have the inn. We have a pretty robust supply of alcohols there. Won't be as effective as a bomb core or a fire spell, but it might be able to get the job done. Can make cocktails out of it, you know. Put a rag in it, light it up.
That would be helpful. After all, the undead don't seem to take kindly to fire or holy magic, so it would definitely help. They are just rotting corpses by the end of the day that need to be put down.
we can use Aeon's illusion to maybe lure Big Spider Woman away from the town and to a certain point light that area on fire so that she can't get away this time.
Problem with the illusion, it's very limited in its mobility. If we want to create an illusion, I think it's going to have to be somewhat conspicuous, perhaps building on the edge of town. Somewhere it can be lured into and boom, bigger boom.
Yes. For I do not doubt
It's
decent defenses you can build here.
It's at about this time that the rotund individual from before suddenly pipes up. Way I see it, all of this chatter is useless. If the things are after you, then you can all just pack up your shit and go.
Yeah, thing about that, she made a promise that she's going to come back and kill you all anyway, and she strikes me as the kind to keep her alive.
And you've known her all of how long? It's at about this point Tanala just turns to him. Barathus, we get that you're good with coin and you're a greedy little bastard. We keep you here because of your mercantile skills, not your people skills. So kindly shut the fuck up!
And for your information, not very long. 4 goals since I was an infant. You know, you did kill my parents and get killed by my grandmother. So, not a big deal.
Alright, fine. Jesus. He kind of withdraws back into the crowd. Sorry about him.
It's fine.
We're not leaving you all here to die. When that bitch comes back, she's not getting away this time.
Indeed. None of them will. These creatures are pure evil, not a single kindness in their rotten hearts. So we shall put them down for good.
As a starting point, if you happen to have a building that would suit our needs for some kind of trap, and you don't mind, losing for a bit, suggestions would be welcome.
Well, how about I provide some assistance on that front?
Oh boy.
Oh no, he's got a map.
Of course he has a map.
It's got loot.
It's kind of low detail, and those exact specifics of each building were not defined, but here's the town. I kind of had to make this in a bit of a hurry because
it's a big ass map.
It
is. It's an entire fucking village. 200, 300 people live here.
Probably
even assume that this isn't even. We can also probably assume that this isn't even necessarily the entire map, because the entire town. I forgot to put the inn here. The inn is not anywhere on this map, so.
Kind of messes a bit of Canara's plans, because she was thinking of being on a bit on the outskirts. So pretty much, the town is pretty much the last resort of defense.
Which direction did Miss Spider run away?
She went north.
North. So chances are she's been coming from the north.
Most likely.
Before anything else, Iroh speaks up again. Well, before we can settle on any course of action, we need to make sure the townsfolk are in agreement. A plan has been put forward. Send runners to Elvain and Vitae to call for reinforcements, while the rest of us remain to reinforce and defend ourselves. All in support, say aye. A chorus of ayes rise up, and it's by a hair's breadth, but when the nays are called for, they lose by just a hair's breadth. Very well done. Iroh turns to the militia master. You work with our new friends and the militia. Figure out the best strategy for self-defense. I'll pick our runners and send them going. All right. All right. So with that, the meeting is effectively adjourned as the civilians start going about, and Gallimar approaches you. Well then. Got a situation. Let's talk shop, shall we?
Yes.
Huh?
I'm stressed. What? Because now I'm putting Aeon in another example of anxiety. Because if this doesn't work, this isn't gonna work. It's the sneaking crap again. I tried to steal from that one guy. Now I'm just doing illusions. Ah!
Um,
Hello. Well, they are still in the room with everyone. No wishes to say a few things.
I mean, you're outside, not in any room.
Oh. Well, where everyone's gathered, basically. If I may make a suggestion, well, yes, we shall keep the enemy at bay. However, we may need a last line of defense just in case. Those who are able to wield a weapon, I want you to keep everyone close to you safe. In case any do get through.
So if they're going to come from the north, we should probably focus on choke points from that direction.
Use anything you may find efficient as a weapon.
Cassandra goes up to the militia leader. I agree with Rosa that they'll most likely come from the north. I think our best bet right now is to clear out the trees in the north part of the town.
I can help with that, as she draws a blade.
This thing was some kind of spider and had spiders with her. Less trees means less likely for them to sneak up on us or come up from above. Plus, we could use the lumber to build barricades and spikes.
Fair. Tiermouth pipes up. Also the harpies. We don't know if she has any left, but if she does, getting rid of trees will deprive them of vantage points. They'll have to be in open air, easier to hit by archers.
Yes, which we're going to need all the range we can just in case they do come in huge force. The flyers will be the most agile and frustrating to deal with. Grounding them will make it more easier for us to take them out.
Regarding the bomb trap, with all the alcohol and the gunpowder and stuff, we need a building that would serve to hold the illusion. I mean, the spider lady was going to have to spot me going into this building and then follow her inside.
But we also must be careful that she doesn't detect as a trap. If she does, then I'm afraid all our hard works would be for naught.
I mean, my idea is because again the illusion is limited. If the initial one she sees is actually me, I hop down from the roof and hop inside. There would be an illusion there for her to find, and while she's doing that, I sneak away.
I see.
Mr. Guard person, sir, do you happen to have any sort of apothecary or anything in town with potions and stuff?
We only have a general store, I'm afraid. This is a very small town.
Oh, no chances for a potion of invisibility.
Probably not. No, I'm sorry.
But what about Canara's smoke bombs? Does she still have those?
I do have a few.
It's also quite noticeable.
The smoke bombs will be a last resort, at least for us to be able to fall back.
Since Aeon mentioned them, give me a sec, just making sure on something.
I'm just trying to get all our resources ready because this is not gonna. I just have a feeling with this fight in any circumstance we face.
I don't blame you.
Yeah.
I went ahead and marked a location.
Canara does have one left, which she feels at this point the most comfortable to have would be Rosa. She has it.
Well, I'll take one smoke bomb. If I'm going to be leading things back somewhere, I would like a way out. Because I do have an escape spell, but that doesn't work on me.
Exactly why I feel that you should have it. It is our only one, so make it count if you should need so.
Doesn't have enough.
You are cutting out and going, robot.
You all offer me.
Curse you, British internet.
Oh, I think it's back.
Tom?
Hello?
Hello?
I can hear you. You're
Yeah.
back.
Curses.
I am alive. Hello?
Hello?
Yep, we can hear you.
So,
Yes.
we have
I
no
was just
way of
asking whether the general store has any Phoenix Downs on hand.
I don't know. You'd have to ask Barothus.
I mean, we don't really have the money for Phoenix Downs, and I doubt we're going to
We
let them.
might get a loaner or two, considering the fate of the entire every single inhabitant of this entire village rests on the coming fight.
Mm-hmm.
No harm in trying to replenish important supplies.
So, yes, first, we need a building. We need a way to lure Spider Lady inside, at least her,
Can we just
and then
assume
set
that
the bomb off.
Can we just assume that the guard captain's given us a map?
Yeah, the guard
the
captain's
village.
giving you a map. Like, I'm assuming at present that we're spending a while making plans here.
Yeah. So, Cassandra looks at the map and looks at this building at the top north end of the village, kind of around the center with the big tree in the middle.
Which one?
This one.
The pinging.
Okay. I'm hunting for a specific piece of music, so I'm not necessarily looking at the roll
There you go.
20 consistently, but I see what the one you're talking about, yeah.
She points at. What's this building here?
That building, just an old storehouse, really.
So you wouldn't really miss it if it went kabooey.
I mean, we might miss all of the supplies that were in it.
I mean, they can be moved.
We can move those out of the way. Anything flammable or combustible in there?
A few things, probably.
Maybe
I can't
maybe
imagine
wine
we've got
barrels.
no, most of those will be kept at the inn.
Move them into it. Anything that can, make an explosion.
Fair enough.
Anything that can at least make some kind of an impact, or at least take out some of her smaller minions, so we don't have to waste our energy on them.
Yes.
If they are undead, fire and holy are going to be our best bets, but none of us really do the holy thing, so fire is going to be probably our best bet.
Fair enough.
How about this? We prepare this. I think that tree needs to go. That's clear line of sight.
Right.
Although a lot of trees need to go. We're surrounded
So-
by forests.
But we remove anything from storehouses useful, either the town needs or maybe we could use. Rig the whole place to explode.
Wait Cassandra holds up thing and wait a second. Looks to, is there any sort of alchemist or any kind of person who could make potions?
Not here, no, I'm afraid. Any potions we have are imported from one of the largest cities.
Looks over to, like, Canara or Canara. Do you guys have any skills in making potions, even just, like, regular ones?
Sadly, I lack such skills myself. I mostly work with weapon and armor.
Chemicals.
Dang it, where the hell is that one piece of music? Why can't I find it?
Is actually we're discussing plans and he's looking at music.
I'm trying to find a very specific track to go with your planning, but I can't
Okay.
fucking find it.
Okay,
Planet
so
Dawn.
so I'll probably have to look in the rule book. But next question: how difficult would it be for us to make a great big pot of potion?
A great big pot of potion. Are we talking about this
So
in character
imagine-
or out of character?
Out of character. So imagine this plan. We get pots and fill them with potion or some kind of healing brew or whatever.
Are you thinking like how in castles, like they pour hot oil over it, but
instead of oil, it's healing potion. And if these things are undead,
I mean, they can be.
I do like the sound of this plan, but
if we can get extra healing potions that we could spare, I think a lot of the villagers might use them. I mean, they could be involved in the explosion, so like healing potion gets splattered or anything in the vicinity.
Yeah, probably be best of us trying to make it, since none of us have the specific synthesis skill to make potions.
But without the skill, how difficult would it be?
It depends on what type of potion you're trying to make and how much of it you're trying to make. I'll say
a standard potion.
For a standard potion, but a large pot of it. Like, how large of a pot are we talking here? Are we talking about like a bowl of soup, or are we talking full-on cauldron?
Cauldron, I would imagine, since it's a big target.
Yeah, like say the pots you see from Legend of Zelda, big.
Okay, that gives me a scale to work with. I would say for that would constitute an impressive difficulty target.
Which, in terms of someone who doesn't know the rolls by heart, I'm guessing it's like somewhere in the 15s or something.
It would be about 14.
Okay.
Piss.
Yeah, that's a big pot, so...
Anyway, well, I was thinking, if we remove that tree, break the place to explode, anything useful we can in our storehouse we can use, or otherwise just move it. Maybe create from that roof down elsewhere like a quick escape route into the building. For me, if I stand on top of it, where very lifelike, realistic, where Spidey Lady's gonna see me, maybe I can get a few answers also while I'm there. Jump down there. It's very much me. She follows me inside, at which point, through some manner we're going to need to discuss. I need to slip out and be replaced by the illusion. Further draw her in to the kill zone.
Which would have to be like a exit along here, whether it be a window or a door or something.
While the illusion's waiting at the center of the storehouse. At which point we would need her to go in after the illusion, which would then, by some mechanism, trigger Trump.
Say I allow you to be bait.
All due respect, big sis, but you're not going to allow me to do.
I don't like you being bait, but if it means just enough to get her attention, I still hate it, but...
I'm back.
Welcome back.
I do have a special role for you specifically, Cassandra.
In a second. What I'm thinking is, again, you get her attention, jump into the building, you go in, and as soon as you hop into the building, Aeon makes the illusion and puts it right in the middle of the room, looking like it's poised and ready to fight. While the real you goes out the back door with me. Or I could just jump with you into the rafters.
So I was thinking you could simply, or even another way to do it, if you manage to sneak out of the back here, you could easily jump Rosa away to safety while the trap goes off.
Too. I would say we definitely don't want to be in the building where it explodes.
Exactly, because you would need to get a distance away. It's going to go up in a big blaze of fire.
Or we make the building collapse on her.
Well, big explosion will do that, yes.
That's the point.
Big enough.
Fire, the collapse of explosion. If it doesn't kill it, it will at least cripple it.
And kill any little minions she brings with her. Because necromancers.
You could use some healing potions either from the apothecary or that storehouse or something, because I used a lot of them.
There is no apothecary.
General store, whatever.
Point
being,
is... Yeah.
Alright, so that's the
That
plan to
yes.
deal with the big lady, the leader, but that will still leave the rest of the undead to deal with.
Which
We
in
must,
fact,
if we can take her out quickly, that'll be much more disorganized, but that's a big if.
yes, because here's the thing.
My
Take out
concern,
the brains.
my concern
then-
is that she's not the brains.
All goal is
Yeah.
And then the question
I was-
becomes, what if he shows up?
if he shows up,
that's
Then-
a problem. A terrifying problem.
just Cassandra holds on to
She
Rosa.
starts to hyperventilate again.
Deep
Cassandra
breaths.
holds on to her and just tries to help her breathe. If he shows up, then all we can do is just try to run. 'Cause I don't know how strong this guy is. I don't know him. But if Canara felt like she needed herself to go, along with an Ace Watcher Beast, and the fact that Neothil had to fight him, then we're
Her
nowhere
plan
near
to deal
his
with
level.
him was Ultima.
Yeah, so unless you have a way to contact your grandma, we're on our own. Without knowing where exactly Canara is, I can't exactly send Tyr to go find her.
I
I
mean,
think
Looks to Tyr.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's possible that they're still hundreds of miles away. They might not even know. I have no idea what they know. They might have shown up at Forgal's lair, found him there, they fought and he fled, or maybe they got there and he wasn't there anymore and they don't know where to look. We have no way of knowing, so we can't count on them.
We can't count on Canara, and we can't exactly count on me if the truth of her condition is to be believed. And I doubt that the Rangers will be here in time after your scouts.
I think we're
Although,
banking on being the Spider Lady because if it's 4 goal, we're dead.
although, looks to Tyr.
Yeah?
Getting out the map of the world and looking at Vitae is like, how fast do you think you could get to Vitae?
I can fly pretty fast, but that sort of distance would be a strain on my wings. I have speed, but I don't necessarily have long-range stamina.
And besides, I was thinking Tyr could help with the fire.
Yeah.
After all, we're going to need plenty of it.
Yeah, I don't want to leave you guys.
I don't want you to leave either. I'm sorry, Tyr. I'm just trying to think of options.
I gotcha. I feel like I'd probably be of most use here. If they're going to be sending people on Chocobo back, they'll be able to cover about as much ground as I can. The only difference is they'll have to follow the road. But that won't make much of a difference.
Doing
Just a
airships.
random, and just a
Okay,
random
it has a
dragon
lot of
showing
it.
up, I don't think they're gonna be keen on listening to.
Unless you went to Neothil directly.
Of course, you don't even know what Nee looks like.
And I can make
I
a
can tell you where
guess.
she lives.
Either way, point stands. I feel like I'd be put to better use here.
You might be the one. Tyr, you're pretty much immune to fire, right?
I mean, more or less.
You can probably be the fire starter.
Yeah, probably.
I'd say a burning building won't be too hard for you to get out of, and again,
So if you're
fire
waiting
doesn't hurt.
Aeon,
Do you
So
think he'd be
how about-
fatal?
how about this? Aeon and TS start together inside the storehouse with the big booms. I start on top, I do my thing. I jump in to get her to go inside. Aeon creates his illusion. Aeon and I step out the back door. Cassandra jumps us away, leaving just Tyr in there and the illusion. Dragon Lady comes in, goes after the illusion. Tyr sets off the boom, flies away. Then we deal with what's left.
Alright, I
And
think we
I'll-
can probably work with that.
As far as Scragglers, stragglers go, though, from what you were saying, that don't follow her into the building, looks to Canara and Kai. Canara, Kai, I think it's best if we put you two on the left side of the building, looking out into the north part of the town. If there are any stragglers, you guys would probably be best after the explosion goes off.
Well, going all tower defense on this, after the storehouse, there are 4 roads going deeper in.
Yes, but slow down with that for a sec, because we mustn't forget one other important factor.
And what's that?
Looks to the military individual of the group,
Yep, Gallimar.
Alama.
How many able fighters do you have? Or at least to have some manner of training?
Exactly.
Oh. Most people in the town can probably use a pitchfork like a spear. Spears are pretty easy to use, all things considered, at least conventionally, not like how a dragoon does it. So just about everyone should be able to offer up at least a token defense. As for trained as far as trained militiamen go, the town population is only 200. We've got maybe 30 people.
It's more than what I was originally thinking, so...
Well, it's a decent size of a military might.
There are 4, like I said, there are 4 roads that go deeper in, 4 checkpoints. I mean, let them put the militiamen between them, maybe set a
They could also try to sneak in on the right side of the village, here in the trees.
Yeah. Ultimately, the main problem is that this is a very loosely put together town. It's not dense. So even if we try to barricade down streets and try to make it so they only have one viable option through the roads, they can still just slip between buildings. So strategically thinking, I'm thinking our best bet might be to find somewhere with a good vantage point that the enemy has to funnel through to reach.
What about the main road here?
The main road's pretty
to the
wide.
middle of town.
The main road is pretty
But
wide,
there's no
but
buildings. There's no buildings or anything for them to hide behind, and it's all in plain sight. No cover.
Right, but they would still have to go through large swaths of the village, and if they're here to start taking lives, well...
What if we move all of the villagers to the southern end of the town?
I could do it. Move everyone to the southern edge and form a half-circle, semicircle defensive perimeter around them, starting at the main highway.
Yes.
We take everybody, all of them, all the trained militia will be on the north end of the city with us. All the civilians will go down to the south end of the town, and all those who are able to fight with anything, pitchforks, bows, whatever they can just have them form a defensive line around the southern end of the town and keep all non-combative civilians as far back south as possible.
We don't want them to be at the very edge of the town, because if any enemies circle around and we miss them, then being at the very edge would leave those people defenseless. So southern center. He sort of draws a big blue circle on the map. I'm thinking here is where we keep the civilians.
And along the north, along the streets, along alleyways through buildings, set up trip wires, traps, smaller things like take on individual.
Perhaps a few explosive ones as well. Even if
Well,
it doesn't take them out, it would
we're
at
going to
least
want
make up
mostly
a sound.
explosives to. The thing is about the explosives, we're going to want to use mostly explosives.
Let me finish. Not something as lethal that would take them out, but merely to let off a sound in case some do sneak around. At least it would give everyone a heads up.
So like a firecracker or something.
Get some tin cans for that.
We could just
anything that could make a noise that would pretty much alert us to their position.
We could try that. We could set pitfalls here, right on the north end of the road.
Feel free to draw in what you guys are thinking if you want. Do you have the brush tool?
I'll be back in a second. I need the loo.
Okay.
Alright, I see where it is.
Again.
So yeah, if they are coming from the storehouse, we would need to set up areas like here, even through here, and there, and perhaps even here. They are going to try to see through, but they could also try to get through on this side over here, theoretically.
If we take the trees that we cut down and we make them into spikes, we can make it a little easier to at least corral them and make it to where archers and whatnot can pick them off. These things will be undead, so I doubt they'll be very tactical in their movements.
Your troops are all capable of ranged weapons, correct?
Some of them at least. I'd say about half have proper training with ranged weapons. I can give everyone a crash course, but I'm not sure how well it'll take. I don't know how long we have.
Perhaps me and... Well, Rosa would be part of other plans, so I guess I could also give him some advice of how to shoot.
Okay, so just for clarity's purposes, for my own sake here, the current plan is that these sort of lighter fuchsia sort of circles are meant to be like pitfalls, spike traps?
Pitfalls, spike traps, spike barricades, just anything to like try to corral them to the north side of the building of the city, at least enough to where say like archers could pick them off.
I would even point out if we since we're cutting down some trees, we could use the logs to block off certain paths, perhaps even add some extra spikes to make it more difficult for them to scale.
Is that what these horizontal lines are supposed to be up here?
Either that, or even like, if we don't have the supplies for that, we could at least make some soundtracks as well, so like anything like pots and pans for them to scrape along to make noise.
I'm figuring it might be more prudent to sort of swap things around. Put our spike traps further north to thin their numbers. The barricades should be closer to where we are here at the center,
I would like
so
those
that
to
the
be more
enemy.
up here. I would say. You're cutting it a bit.
Spike. I say pitfalls and spike traps in the middle up there. Doing it that way means that the enemies will have their numbers thinned somewhat. They'll have to go around to the eastern side and follow that route. We have our barricade lines set up there, and then we can try to hold their advance at those points. Create those 3 choke points.
As I was thinking, we might be able to put some by the storehouse as well, to hinder them a bit. But also, as for the archers,
I think
it would be wise to put them around, at least, as you say, near the center, so they could pick off enemies that are coming from the front. But if any do try to sneak in through the back, they at least could also fire upon them there, while also your main combat prowess sort of troops can remain near the civilians for extra support.
I agree with that. This line here through the village, archers can be on rooftops and whatnot and pick off those that get stuck in the barricades as well as those who escape the spike traps, while all melee troops will be up at the north end with us as your troops can help pick off the small fry, leave the big one to us. I don't want your men anywhere near her.
Alright,
she is a necromancer. I'm afraid, please forgive me for saying this, but any dead could just be used as more fodder for us.
No, you've got a good point. I don't want to put all of my melee forces up there at the north, though. I have to keep at least some down with the civilians to keep them safe.
No.
Okay,
I feel that they should all stay backed by the civilians and have mainly the range units shoot to the far. If the undead get close, order them to pull back to the safety of the melee troops, so they can have some covering fire.
Based on what she said to us in her behavior last time, she'll most likely send a majority of her horde down to where the civilians are, or at least to search the town. So maybe you're probably right. It would be best to keep the melee fighters on the south end of the town.
At least some.
While your archers the majority of your archers make a line there in what I mean.
Right.
Picking off those who get stuck in the spike traps and the barricades, while any melee fighters pick off scragglers that get across the road and form a defensive line with civilians.
Alright.
All of us will be up in the north end after the storehouse goes, and hopefully to put her down, if not help pick off those that stay with her.
Drew in a couple of green lines to sort of represent the idea of where he wants his melee troops.
Which is a good defensive line. I'd definitely say focus fire on the flying units in case there are quite a few of them. As for the ground units, they'd be picked off by range, but those who are not, they could fall back behind the melee line and cut them down to size.
From what we saw that she had with her at the time, spiders were her main ground forces. Spiders tend to have a weakness for any type of fire or ice. So if any have any elemental arrows of any kind, or any sort of weapon or object that could use ice to their advantage, that would be a good idea.
Most we'll probably be able to do is tie some cloths around our arrow tips and then light them up with a torch before we shoot them. Working with extremely limited resources here, so...
And at desperation... and at desperation, as I've seen with what Rosa has done, they're also susceptible to take a lot of damage from even the basic healing potions. So at last resort, if they do get close, fling it at the enemy, and they will sizzle and burn. Like acid.
That would be a last resort. Healing is going to be very limited for what supplies we have.
Indeed.
We have the general store to search and the storehouse itself, so if there's anything in there we can use.
Are there any of your troops that are skilled in magic at all?
Nope.
Well, it's worth a try.
I have a life spell I can use like twice.
You know, it makes me wish that the Academy City wasn't on the other side of the continent.
Right. Okay, all of these
White
spike
mages
traps
would
and
be
barricades are going to need trees for them, and those will take time to cut down and carve to size.
I am willing to help, but if anyone can wield an axe, that would also be helpful. We need to get them up as soon as possible.
Let's go ahead and mark down the trees we want to cut.
Definitely this big one up here. That one that's already X'd. Probably all of these.
Ones that
over
flank
here.
around the ones that flank around the outside edges of the town, I would like to leave those. They can form natural barricades, force enemies through certain points, give them fewer points of ingress. Makes it easier on us.
Yeah, but the ones that are like here, that are already in the town, can probably go
That are where?
northeast part of the map. The ones that like here, where I'm pinging, that are already like
Fair.
in the town. Or just basically any tree that is tall enough in town might just have to go.
Alright.
At least enough to where we can make our traps and whatnot.
Alright, well.
Yes. But you also say a few sound traps would also be helpful.
A few
Even
what
if we
traps?
Sound traps, if they get
Tin
behind, they'll be
cans,
like
pans, and whatnot.
warm.
Yeah.
Fair enough. We can
Especially
only
if it-
cover so many places with spikes or barricades, so I would
Sound
say
traps,
this-
I think, would be more towards the back of it, and then you get
Yeah,
around
like
the
around here.
civilians.
At least that would give everyone a heads up if they should ever decide to go all the way around and try to flank you from behind.
fair
That
enough,
is a
fair
good
enough.
idea.
And
Around
we
the
should
southern
probably
edge of
get
the-
some set up in this circle up here,
Mhm.
possible.
Yep. Just use
Got our wo-
anything.
Got our work cut out for us.
So many plans, I can't wait for none of them to work.
Well, we don't know how long we have, so can you help
are
us
burning
convince
daylight.
the civilians to help?
This is their home. They're likely to defend it with everything they've got. I don't
That's what
want to
we
say,
need.
I don't have any offense when I say this, but you were never going to convince them to leave.
I feared for that. Which I will admit, Back with my clan, mostly all we knew was running. But today, we stand and fight and defend your home.
Well, here's to hoping the plans we've drawn up here will be sufficient. Do you have any more ideas to add to this? It's getting kind of chaotic.
With what limited supplies we have, and we don't know how much time we'll have either, so...
I just want to have a look at the general store and that storehouse we're using to blow up to see if there's any potions or supplies we can use.
Alright, by all means.
Then I
Alright,
shall
well.
assist with the barricades and cut down the trees. If anyone else
Alright.
wants to join me with that, I would appreciate it.
I'll help you as soon as we go. Me, Aeon, and Kai are going to go look at the storehouse. Rosa, are you good at the general store by yourself?
I can do that. I got Fluffy with me. I'm not by myself.
Okay.
Make
Looks at
haste.
Tyr. Tyr, can you keep a patrol around the edges of the city just to make sure of any movement?
I'll be your eyes in the sky. If anything comes, I'll let you know. Don't worry.
And he immediately goes up.
Alright. Aeon, Kai, let's go look at the storehouse and see what we can work with.
Hi.
Drawing up fucking battle plans. I love it.
Well, we can't leave, and we don't know how much time we have, so we'll... And with what limited resources we have, that's about all we can do.
Anything else I recommend? In the building they're staying at, probably best to barricade them.
You know what this kind of reminds me of from Campaign 1?
What?
Mhm.
Us going up against the poachers and whatnot, just north of, what was that one town?
Dolly?
It was in chapter 2 that had
Dolly.
the bot and all them.
Yeah,
It was
kinda. The difference here is
Only
that
that-
you are on the defensive this time instead of the offensive.
That and we don't have an army of tomberries to just go and stab everybody.
Yeah, no, you've lost. You don't have that advantage.
I want to tell me.
Who wants a tom? Han wants a tomberry? Oh no.
Yes.
All right, so Rosa General Store. Where's
Well, they're on the other side of the continent. Sorry, Han.
All right, where's Kuna
That's my
going?
next pet.
Canara's probably going to be cutting down the trees and helping to fix up the barricades.
All right, so then, got a lot going on here. So
As
let's.
you did point out, would it be possible to barricade the doors where the civilians are and all the windows?
If they're in their homes, probably, but that'll be up to them to work on, I think.
I think he means regarding the buildings in the cloister.
Yeah.
I imagine we can
since that's where
probably.
everyone's gonna be.
You probably get something working on that front.
Make it a bit harder for them to get to them.
Just drawing some purple lines to represent barricade lines.
Oh God, please.
Got a
I
lot
have to say,
going
I
on
don't think-
this map.
I don't think the Warriors of Light have ever had to deal with like a defensive plan like this.
The Warriors
that
of
I
Light
can
were usually the
remember.
ones taken to fight to things.
Yeah,
I
we
feel
don't
like
really
I
have
feel like though, if you guys manage to pull this off, if you manage to defend this town, this will probably be the start of the Freebirds' rise to fame.
Uh-huh.
even though we technically brought them here.
I mean,
Unintentionally.
you had no way of knowing that. And you're
We
doing the brave
rescued
thing
some
of sticking around
slaves.
to help save everyone. So if you succeed, this will be a pretty big deal. So
I mean, Tom makes a point. We did rescue the slaves in Lyndhurst.
yeah, and that was definitely the start, but that was a small number of people in a very local environment. This is a bit of a bigger deal. This is,
This is a whole town right next to Vitae
yeah.
against a
legendary
undead
foe of
horde.
the Warrior of Light that everyone of the seems to know about.
Well,
Yeah,
again,
so
if
we-
Fordall is here, we don't know if he's here or not.
Oh,
Either
if he
way.
turns up, we are so boned.
Well, yeah. If he shows up, we're boned.
Yeah. Those extra lines are like little
Well,
barriers in case we can do or not.
Well, let's just go one thing at a time for now. So for now, let's do the storehouse. Kai, Aeon, and Cass are heading there. What you looking for in there?
Anything of use, potions, anything to make explosives, or is combustible, or just anything useful.
All right, stepping into the storehouse and looking around, go ahead and make scavenge checks for me while I'm describing it. It is a 2-story building. Most of the second story is off to the left and right. It's just a really high roof in sort of the middle space. There are stacks of crates on these sort of pallet things sort of scattered about. Crates, barrels, boxes, a whole bunch of different storage apparatuses. It appears to largely be a place of storing practical tools and equipment for things like farming or building up homes and structures. You know, hammers, nails, pitchforks, or what have you. And we just need Kai's scavenge.
I have nothing in scavenge, that's why mine's dog shit.
3 out of 4.
Yeah.
I got a 10.
Well, you're the kleptomaniac.
Oh, wait a minute, I do too.
Well, you're the engineer, so.
Yeah.
I stab things, I don't loot things.
Head empty, stab things.
Ha!
13. All right. Kayana, you have experience working in warehouses, so a lot of this sort of immediately like,
Yep.
and you start sort of pointing out, you recognize the organizational structure immediately. It's very basic, but it works. And you start pointing things out and looking for anything explosive, or that could be very combustible. It's not so much that you find anything that's super combustible, but what you do find are things that could potentially light on fire quickly. Large sheets of fabrics, for example, entire crates filled with like cottons or yarns or what have you from farm animals. Things that would burn quickly, but would also probably burn out quickly. Plenty of wooden planks in reserve for construction purposes, though a lot of those are currently being pilfered for the necessary spike traps and barricades that everyone's trying to build up. Let's see
Yeah.
here.
I could just see Kai just slowly looking at Cassandra. It's like, hey, Cass,
Yeah?
how are you with carrying things?
How is she with what?
Carrying things.
I'm pretty good at it. Why?
You might be here for a while because this organization is gonna take a while.
Well, if there's anything useful here, we...
Grab something to carry everything that we need in. Because I think I can find whatever we need.
So basically all we have is a bunch of things that... So basically what you're saying is all we have are things that can start the fire, but not maintain it or intensify it.
I mean, there are things in here that could very well serve as fuel for a fire, wood and shit, but nothing that would, be explosive in their reactions.
Any healing items throughout the place?
You find, like, a box of emergency medical supplies. It's like a few potions and maybe a Phoenix Down in it.
Yeah.
It's a small town, guys. You're not going to be
Don't
finding
take-
the luxuries here.
Well, I think this counts as an emergency. I think we'll take the emergency supplies.
So, yeah, Cass is just gonna pocket the potions and Phoenix Down.
All right.
How many potions in the Phoenix Down spread throughout us?
Say about 8 potions.
We have a Phoenix Down.
Okay, we'll distribute those as is, and then Rosa will get the Phoenix Down.
Alright, I can take Phoenix Down. Can I take at least one of the potions?
Well, yes.
Imagine just Kai looking at Aeon, just saying, "Hey, Aeon, can you get that one?"
Okay.
So, yeah, we'll distribute potions.
I'll take one of them. That'll put me to 2 potions and a Phoenix Down, and I still have an elixir as well. From home.
I mean, there's 8 of them, so honestly, all of us. So it's Cass, Kai, Aeon, Rosa. can't really divide them by 5. Honestly, Cassandra still has 5, so the rest of you can just take 2 potions.
Alright.
Okay.
I've got 3 potions. It's better.
So,
So just
add
put-
2 potions.
Add 2 potions to your inventory, darling. As well as Canara, Kai, and Rosa.
Yep.
Sorry, real quick.
Good.
I have 5 potions, so I'd 7.
Oh, look.
All right.
I have
one-
3
One time math
potions.
hasn't failed.
Hey, honey, I'm scared.
Heck yeah, baby.
Honey,
So
I'm
I guess
scared.
after piling all that's flammable into the center of the house, any supply that's not flammable or seems too important to be destroyed, they can help carry off to the general store to be the new temporary storehouse.
All right, well,
Okay, yourself.
speaking of the general store, let's cut on over to Rosa and see what she's up to in there.
So heading towards the general store, what's the general goings on there?
When you get to the general store and you sort of step in through the front door, it's a very well-appointed place considering how small and not necessarily wealthy this village seems to be. Multiple shelves along the walls, some colored candles sort of providing gentle illumination. Sort of towards the back of the room, there is a counter, of course, and you can see that the rotund man from before, the one who was gung-ho about getting you guys out of here, sort of looking over a list of some sort on a clipboard.
Oh, this guy owns the place.
Actually, I wanted to raid his place because he's an asshole.
He glances up as you're stepping in. Oh, great.
Maybe we should
Oh,
use this fucker.
Great.
Does anybody want to hit him in the back of the head?
No,
None
I
of you
want
are
to use
there.
him as bait. Can we do that?
That would be rude.
If this doesn't go well,
Oh,
we can put
and
Aeon
what he's doing isn't rude?
Don't worry. If this doesn't go well, we can send Aeon to rob him later.
Oh, if only Canara was there. He did not like it how he spoke to Cassandra.
Oh, this is
Protective Mama Wolf.
so this is your establishment, I presume.
Yep, I run the only general store in town. I'm responsible for most of the income this village gets.
What are you up to in these trying times?
Well, right now I'm taking inventory of all the stuff I have, and depending on what happens in the next few days, I might be hopping in a wagon and fucking off.
Oh, shocker.
Medical supplies. What's your stock of those?
Got some potions, got some high potions, got like a phoenix down somewhere, I think. Bunch of different items for curing maladies and conditions, eye drops, golden needles, things like that.
The cost.
Same as always, I guess. If you know the standard
Hey,
rates for
Jack.
those things.
Any chance I could persuade for a discount, considering the fact that if you want to run away, we're the ones between you and the undead horde that's going to try and eat your brains.
Make a mercantile check.
You're asking for a discount from this jerk.
I have mercantile skill, so
Yes, you
I
do.
really like how me and Mystic have the same wavelength.
It's like, fuck this guy.
Dick, rich asshole. Mercantile 4. Alright. 13.
13.
Yeah, no. I feel it coming.
He glances up at you. You know what? That's fair.
Gee. So, that's
Think of it-
me.
Think of it this way. the more the... It may cost you a few potions and a bit of gil, but at least it'll take us longer to die and more time for you to run.
Mm-hmm. Tell you what, I can give you 20% off on my stock.
20% off.
Ugh.
Half price on the potions, the rest 20%.
Negotiation check. Never mind, he rolled a critical failure.
Oh wow.
Bow to the Rosa.
Yeah, alright, fine.
Alright. How many potions does he have?
I'd say, all things considered, he's got about 10 in stock.
Gil, 100 gil in all. I'm buying all of them.
Alright.
Alright, so 10 potions to divide between us.
It's like 2 potions per person.
Yep, 10, so yep, 2 potions each. Everyone had 2 potions.
And he mentioned gold needles, did he not?
Basically, like, in general, he basically has, like, if you look at the sample consumables list, he'll have any items that are on that list that are under 600 gil. The most expensive item he has is, his Phoenix Down.
We can't afford even with the 20% off.
Yeah.
Alright. High potion. He has a high potion.
Mm-hmm.
You get a high potion from him.
Alright, that's another 100 gil.
Nice. I had one of those. Finally, you better drop my 100 gil.
A spare smoke bomb might be nice. It should either be 25 if that's halved, or 50, or 20%.
I'll grab a spare smoke bomb for Canara.
Okay, add that to the list.
Alright, so if it's 20% off, then that smoke bomb will cost 40 gil.
Yep.
I don't remember if there were any particular status effects those zombies did at any point.
They had a habit of trying to inflict zombie.
It did. Holy.
What cures
Revivifies. Any revivifies in his inventory.
We'll say he has, he's got 4 revivifies on hand.
How much are they going to cost? Each?
I mean, let's see here. It's 20 gil at base for them, and, so that would be 16 per revivify.
15 gil. 4 of those.
So if, you're getting all of them, that comes out to 64.
64 gil. I'm going to get 2 of them.
Alright, that's 32.
Yeah, because Canara has 2. I think.
Canara has? Where'd you get revivifies?
Don't know, she believe. Oh, it's something else. Let's see.
Alright, and unless anyone else wants anything else, I think I'm happy with that for now.
Alright.
I think that'll do.
Alright. So that is your
inventory.
Alright, so that's your shopping done. So now comes the fun part. There is a lot of work to do, and no one knows how much time you have to do it. So, I am going to need people, anyone who wants to try and contribute to things, to tell me how they're trying to contribute, and then we're going to need to do dice rolls to see how successful you are.
It's going to help with the
With
setting up the explode.
With preparing the defenses or any other task.
Rosa's going to help with setting up the explosives for like the main thing. Like, she's making exact measurements and
Okay.
where to place things, the exact angles for the optimal effects, doing maths and that shit
Okay.
to make big boom.
What did I imagine Kai was doing that?
Alright.
Yeah, I imagine Kai and Rosa will be setting up the explosive.
Like they're making notes, calculations,
Okay.
all
And in that
these things in the books that makes Aeon just slowly fall asleep.
Okay. If that's what you two are doing for the time over the course of this day, then you can go ahead and make for me a synthesis check. Kayana can take it. And it'll be tinkering and it'll be tinkering because it's stuff that's not other stuff. So Kayana has her bonus.
And since I'm helping Kayana,
So she'll get a +2 bonus to a roll on top of her synthesis skill.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I imagine Aeon grabbing all like pans and other stuff that makes noise and sets up the little sound traps all over the place.
I am helping you now.
Clung, 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 clung.
Wait for tinkering, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Aeon is to start his own little Mukul
11.
band.
11. That's just what you needed. You are pretty confident, all things considered, that you've managed to set up a suitably potent pyre. And with the addition of several bottles of alcohol that have been wheeled in from the inn and sort of established in various locations around, you imagine you'll probably be able to create a pretty significant kaboom.
Mm-hmm.
But getting all of that set up is several hours out of your guys' day. Let's see here. Cassandra, what are you doing to help prepare?
Alrighty then. Probably going, once the storehouse has been cleared out and everything, I'm going to probably have Cassandra work with Canara and everybody else to start making the spike traps and barricades.
All right. It'll take time for the logs to get cut down, so are you focusing on digging?
Sure.
Okay. Make for me a force check.
Oh.
12. All right. So, over the course of the day, you sort of devote yourself and a lot of your attention to just helping with the spike traps. With a 12, I'll say you're able to contribute to getting 2 of them done. Between digging sufficiently large pits and getting the spikes affixed to them. So go ahead and just mark out which spots you want your pits to be. All right, so I will draw those in as these.
I think in our preparation of the storehouse, can I also include in creating the escape route in the roof to the essential area? So let's develop that.
What was that?
Creating the escape route for Rosa to use in the roof to get into the building.
Right, so because the idea is that Cassandra will jump in and get you out.
Well, if you remember, the idea was Rosa's going to be on the roof to track the thing. She's going to jump in to the building. The thing's going to follow her into the building. Aeon will create the illusion. Tyr's ready to set the thing off. Aeon and Rosa get out back, where Cassandra's going to be waiting to jump them out.
Okay. So the idea is you just want to make like a hole in the roof?
Much.
Okay. Force
Door or
check.
something. Oh dear. I might need to go grab a helper with this one. Yep. Finesse, not so much with force. I'll assume that all this has happened after we're done. As we're doing this, can I go, hey Kai, can you help me with this?
In which Kai just goes ahead and goes, I'm on it.
All right. So you get a +2 to whatever you rolled.
Excellent. Now that means we'll have +4 now, which is less dog shit. Okay, that's not so bad. 4, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Yeah, that'll do it. takes you a bit, but you're able to make a sufficiently wide enough hole for you to jump into, and you, with a bit of help from Cayenne, sort of smooth out the edges so that you don't fall in, so that you don't like scrape yourself up with like splinters and shit when you're falling in. It's a nice round hole, complete with a cover that you can slide off and slide back on to disguise its presence. So you now
We
have
good?
these.
Are we good?
All right, Canara.
Cut down the trees and taking them to where the barricades need to be built.
All right, force check for me, please.
And also probably instructing others to help and how to cut down trees, I guess.
All right. It should be noted that all of these tasks you guys are doing, while I'm making you roll for them, you're not the only ones working on these. Like, it's a flurry of activity in this town as everyone's pitching in to help. This is just the areas you are contributing to.
Yes.
God, I'm gonna have to do so much updating to this map.
Between sessions, yeah.
Yeah,
We
like
love
between
making more
sessions,
work
I'm gonna
for
have to reload this map in my map editor and just add all the shit.
We love making more work for you.
That's fine. I
I
kind of
just perfected my...
I just brought this on myself, really.
You tried to kidnap me.
I did. All right. So, what'd you roll for your force check, Canara?
I just prevented myself to scream because I could roll a crit.
Success or failure?
Crit fail or
Success. I'm getting
Nice.
some freaking
You are the woodcutter extraordinaire.
All right.
Yeah.
So,
It gives me deja vu when Alasai did that with a tree and splintered it.
yeah. So Canara, you sort of channel all the strength you can, hoping that you have at least a day or so before this horde comes, and just start cleaving through tree trunks in fairly rapid succession. You have to go a little slowly and wait for people to make sure that they don't fall on houses or anything. There's a lot of angles you have to take into consideration and whatnot, but
Yeah.
with that high force, you are making this a lot faster than it otherwise would be. We'll say that by the time the day is over, pretty much, we'll say about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll say about the closest 8 of these red X'd trees up there are down.
Damn.
So, with that, I believe that should be sufficient for setting up, we'll say 2 trees per barricade, maybe? Does that sound fair?
Yeah.
All right.
I think so.
Because you kind of have to cut them up a bunch. So, with that in mind, go ahead and mark for me where you want these particular barricades to be. You can mark 4 of them.
Alright, just choose a different color.
Like, draw them in as,
That
like,
would do.
draw them in as, like, orange rectangles or something.
Ah, this will work. Okay. So, I was thinking, let's see. Everyone since there's now spike traps there, so yeah. One there, another one there, and probably one about here would also be good. I was thinking maybe though, either further up here or there, but I think those are meant to be choke points, aren't they?
That's like where the spike traps are supposed to go, methinks.
Yeah. So, yeah, that looks good.
All right. And Aeon, what are you doing to contribute?
I don't know. Anyone have any suggestions? Because I don't know what to do.
I did suggest the whole like getting pots and pans and any other things that make loud noises and for the sound traps around
You
the
know,
place.
that actually would probably be a pretty good job for the kleptomaniac. Anything that makes a clanging noise, any noisy things, collect
Even-
them.
I will do that then.
All right.
Buy
Even-
pots and pans or whatever I
And
can.
tin cans and whatnot.
Congratulations,
Alright.
Aeon. You just become a one Moogle band.
All right, scavenge check for me then.
Mm-hmm.
Scavenge is much good.
15.
15.
Jesus, that's almost
Damn.
great.
Yeah, that's good. Okay. I'll say over the course of the day, you are able to amass plenty of pans and work together with enough townsfolk that you can establish 3 sound traps wherever you so wish. So just go ahead and draw where you want them on the map, and I'll get them marked down.
You wanted them mostly on the south part of town.
Okay.
The idea being that enemies step into these and they trigger a lot of noise. So people know something's coming.
So, the south side. I don't know.
Let's see. Somewhere about here.
I'm not good with tactical stuff like this. Like,
There.
Like, if you just want to, like, start, like, around the edge. Down here. Like, on the edge of these buildings down here.
Mm-hmm.
okay, ping him again.
I think have them evenly spread out if we can, like one about there's perhaps one here and another one maybe there.
Ooh, I'm not even seeing the pings. I mean, if you guys want to mark,
He was
them,
drawing
I'm
in.
just-
He
I'm
was
not-
drawing in purple rectangles, not pink.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. Sounds good.
Like that.
Let's hope we're preparing for the defensive helms deep and not 300 Spartans.
Hmm. Let's check with everyone. This barricade I put here, do you think it's good by the town hall or should it be up there?
I mean, that line up there
Okay.
past it is like another spike trap point.
Hmm. Yeah.
This map turned really ugly really quick.
Yeah, I can fix it in post.
I can, and I will. I got a lot of shit to do.
Make it beautiful so that we can have all our plans come together and not work.
All right. So, over the course of that day, this is the work you're able to get done. 2 significant spike traps. You get the storehouse prepared for the trap. You get 4 barricades done up and a trio of sound traps down in the southern half of the village. The day passes into night. Sentries keeping watch. But it seems you are not attacked tonight. And the next day comes. So, you have another day to make more preparations. So,
Right, everyone, I want the rest of these trees cleared out, barricades up, pits dug down in. We need to prepare. More sound traps as well.
alright, so Canara
Rosa is going to help with the barricades and just organizing things and directing people.
Alright, so whoever is in charge of getting the barricade set up will get a +2 bonus from Rosa.
Oh, that'd be me.
Alright, Canara. You're still cutting down trees and lugging things around, so force check.
Okay. Still good roll. Let's see.
2 from me.
Mm-hmm. So you say force.
Yep.
Wow. Thanks to Rosa, that's 3 6s.
And not again.
But not a crit this time. It's
Not
a
a crit.
4 and a 6 on my end. But my force would be 6, but it's now 8 thanks to Rosa.
Okay. So 6, 12, 18. Gotcha. Okay.
Mhm.
So not a critical success this time, but still, that's enough to get 3 more barricades done up. 1 for each 6. So go ahead and mark where you want them, and I'll draw them in.
Okay. Let us see. I still feel comfortable one to be here. If there's nothing else there.
To be where?
I destroy it. Should make the lines thicker. I cannot. Okay.
So you mean right there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, there we go. I think I fixed that.
All right. You got 2 more you can draw in.
Let's see. This is the last line of defense, so... I feel like because, let's see... About... Perhaps one there, because it is a little bit close.
Where you just drew that big ass squiggle.
Yeah.
All right. 1 more.
And maybe one on the other side of the building here.
All right. That's your barricades done up. So that is Rosa and Canara's work on the day. Cassandra.
Time to dig.
Doing more spike traps?
Yep.
All right.
$13.
13. All right. Pretty good, all things considered. That is enough for another 2 spike traps. Mark them where you want them. Like that.
Oh.
All right. Kai, what are you doing?
Alright.
Kiana's muted.
Alright. She might be gone.
Well, while we're
We've
waiting for
lost
her
the
then,
guy.
Aeon, what are you doing?
You guys want more spike traps?
We can do spike traps.
I
Why
mean,
do I
sound
imagine-
traps. Sound traps. That's what I meant.
Sound traps. So, yes.
I was just gonna say, like, why do I imagine if Aeon's idea of helping with spike traps is putting like a trail of like little bits of candy trying to lead zombies to spike traps?
Oh my god.
Ooh, piece of candy.
Candy.
Ooh,
He
piece
would
of
fall
candy.
for his own trap, though. He's like, oh, that's right, I put candy.
Ooh, piece
Yeah,
of
but you
candy.
see the
piece of
you see
candy.
the thing about
Ooh, piece
Aeon
of
is
candy.
he can't fall in a spike trap. He flies.
You're right, he
He would
can't.
be the,
Ooh,
he
piece
would
of
be the
candy.
one that gets the net
piece of
that
candy.
like the net grabs him and then like puts him up in a tree.
And he doesn't even care. He's just eating the candy.
No.
And when he runs out of candy, then he realizes, oh, I'm in a net. Sandra!
Help! Yeah. Do you want more sound traps?
Yes.
What do you guys want me to? Okay, then I go look for
Sound-
more cans or bells or whatever I can find.
All right. Scavenge to find the things.
Imagine Aeon just stealing things from people for this. Just
Oh yeah, no,
taking
there's a
them
lot of
away.
stuff going into his, bottomless pockets.
I imagine right now the excuse is that, like, I'll give it back.
Oh no, I got a critical fail!
What?
Are you kidding me?
Aeon.
Kleptomaniac. No, what did I do?
So, Aeon, as you are drifting around town, mostly over on the western end, looking for pots and pans to make more sound traps,
I'm gonna set my own trap off.
no, not quite. What winds up happening is, you happen to spot a white rabbit, and you think, oh, I'll take a couple minutes to pet the rabbit and relax a bit, try to take my mind off things. And you fly over to the rabbit. The rabbit runs away. You chase it for a bit, and eventually it goes and goes bounding, into a burrow under a tree, and you try to get the rabbit out of the tree, thump 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 thump. And then you realize just a little too late. There was a beehive right up on that tree. You get stung a bunch. You take 9 points of unmitigatable damage, and you are dealing with your bee stings for the rest of the day. So you accomplished nothing.
Oh no. Well, she's gonna be spending all night tending to him.
And Rosa. Just a little Moogle. It's got all bloated up with spots of his bee stings and stuff like that.
You're poofy. You're swollen.
I'm bumpy.
You're bumpy. All right, now.
God damn it.
With all of that squared away, is Ari back yet?
I don't know. She is still muted. Ow! Ow!
God, bee stings.
The agent of chaos has suffered the consequences of his own actions.
Kai, we need a therapist. There, a lollipop.
He's licking the lollipop as he's still crying from the pain.
Oh.
Like any typical kid at the doctor's office.
Oh, there, little baby Noogle. It's okay.
You said Noogle again.
I like the lollipop, but the pain still hurts.
Sorry about
Kai, I got bee stings!
Oh, God.
Aeon did an Aeon.
Oh,
He chased a rabbit. Now he's stung by bees.
I got a critical fail.
onward.
Anyway, so
What is it on?
as it is, Kai, you're the last one who has any work to do today and contributing to the defense of the town. So what you doing?
I think she would just, her being double checking everything, making sure. Okay.
All right. So just general reinforcement of things. All right. If that is the case, spend the day working, getting things prepared as well as you can. The aura of tension around the village rising is still no sign of the undead. Sun sets. Darkness falls over the town. Where are you guys parking yourselves at nights, by the way?
Just hanging around the storehouse.
I guess, yeah, the storehouse would probably be the most strategic one, because that's where the big
No
ambush
one
is
would be on the other
supposed
side of town when things kick off. We have to run there. So it's kind of hanging out.
Alright. Just gonna go ahead and subtract the 9 from Aeon for the bee
I-
sting. So, as you're standing watch that night, or just sort of getting ready to turn in while others are keeping watch,
Uh-oh.
Tiamat comes in for a landing. Movement north.
Hey. This is happening. Okay.
Honestly, I thought we would have had a little more time.
Oh, no, she really kill everyone.
All right. Okay, let's just all calm down. Dear, how many did you see?
I didn't really get a head count, but a lot. More than we dealt with last night. They were traveling in packs.
Did you see her?
Haven't seen her yet.
You didn't see anyone that might be described as a super evil necromancer man?
Not that I could see.
What creatures did you see?
Again, I couldn't really get specifics. They largely seemed humanoid.
Humanoid. Maybe just regular zombies this time?
Maybe.
How fast?
Steady, but fairly slow. We've got at least a few minutes.
Right, well, I need to be on this roof defending it.
Okay.
Aeon, you need to be ready inside for the illusion when I come down.
Mm-hmm.
You got this, Aeon.
Cassandra comforts Aeon with just holding him close. You'll be okay. We're gonna get through this, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Don't like
Promise.
this.
She turns to Tyr. Tyr, keep yourself quiet and unseen. Try to alert the captain or the militia leader or whatever he was.
And then come right back here because we need you as a fire starter.
Gotcha. Goes flying off.
I'll be honest.
Cassandra, you need to be out back. Because any zombies that come close but ready to jump me and Aeon out of there.
Hmm.
Canara, Kai, where are you going to be for the first bit of this?
Well, let's let.
I was gonna say, I don't like this. No sign of the spider bitch.
I think we're going to have at least 1 or 2 waves, maybe, of like nooks first. She decides to.
Maybe.
It's not really what I was hoping. It was. I really want to wait until we see her. I want her in here. I want to waste this opportunity on small fry.
We're not setting off the bomb until the big thing comes in. I'm staying on this roof and defending it until she shows up.
Okay.
I'll make a big stink of it, try and get her attention. And hopefully, if the zombies see me, she'll get interested and come in.
Okay. Okay.
I have a bad feeling. I feel that she might try to come in from another way. I feel I should be a bit further back, at least closer to the civilians, just in case.
Canara, why don't you go down south to the melee units? Right
Yeah,
before
they may.
Yeah, head down there and see if you can work with them,
Oh, wrong one.
just in case she sneaks off somewhere else. And she hands, and Cassandra hands Canara Tyr's whistle. If there's anything down there, then you're too far away to yell. Take this. Tyr will hear it.
Thank you. Stay safe and keep Rosa safe. And Aeon.
Alright.
Hey, where are you going? Are you going to be fighting to begin with?
Oh my god, I hate my mic. Yeah, I think I will stay with Rosa.
Kai, you can't stay with me because Cassandra can only take 2 of us out jumping.
Technically, with Highwind, I don't have a limit on how many people I can take with me.
Well, either way, I'm still concerned. Like, I'm supposed to be like the bait up here, and if there's an extra person, it's a lot more complicated to move around and sneak away.
Maybe she could be supportive fire on one of the buildings like here.
I mean, maybe you could, if you want to help out around here, maybe stand with Cassandra up back, but hold them off.
I'd say probably best to stay with Cassandra out back, and she can take all of you when you leave the building.
Yeah, because Aeon could also fly as well.
Because I need to be up here as the bait.
Yeah, I think I'll be. Yeah, that's a better idea. What?
I'll be hopping down as soon as I'm able.
Yeah, just that I'm, worried. I wish I can get this mic fixed.
It's okay. I think we get the idea.
Right, so where's Kai parking herself then, specifically?
In the back with Cassandra.
All right.
Yeah, Fluffy's gonna hang out down there as well with them.
I'm
And
pretty
Aeon
sure
is
we
in-
can probably take Fluffy with us, but
And Aeon is inside as well.
Aeon is inside, and when Tyr comes back,
I mean,
then Tyr will be with Aeon.
All right.
actually, Fluffy, I'm gonna have for now sticking back with Canara. Canara?
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. Keep
Alright.
Canara some backup.
So as you send Fluffy down to aid Kunara, and you all start sort of getting into position, I would like you all to make awareness checks.
Oh god.
And
Tears here, so
So 3d6.
3. 3d6 plus 4.
And then we look at my sort
15.
19.
Nice.
Holy shit.
10.
And
Let me look at my awareness
Two,
real
two,
quick,
two,
of course.
3d6 plus your awareness.
Yeah.
17.
17.
17. All right. Only one who doesn't get it is
19,
Aeon,
10.
which
Of
I,
course.
17.
which I attribute to Aeon being inside
And being probably being
Stung by
probably
bees.
terrified.
and being stung by bees.
Terrified in pain.
All right,
20.
so 20. Doesn't really work for Canara because she's too far away to notice. So, as the rest of you are sort of gathered together by the storehouse awaiting the arrival of the horde, you start to hear the distant chiming of bells.
Bell.
Handbells.
I don't like this.
You sort of turn your attention northward and you see, thicker than the fog that's already settled over the town the last few days, this ominous gray mist faintly glowing rolling in from the tree line to the north. And amidst that tree line you see silhouettes. You see twitching, shambling skeletons marching in lockstep, unarmed but nonetheless thorny and serrated, as if they were carved for the sole purpose of slaughter. Marching alongside them at a slower pace, you see these taller, lankier humanoid figures dressed in these tattered, flowing robes. What little you can see of their features poking out are spindly and distorted and almost mummified. In their hands are these gently ringing bells, and with every strike there's this little flicker of red or orange or blue light.
Kill them first. Gotcha.
And it is a lot of them. And that's where we'll pick up next time.
Yep.
Kill the lanky fuckers first.
All right, so that was a lot.
It went in a lot different direction than I thought it would.
You were expecting to hit the road, and the villagers were like, fuck that noise, we live here.
And fuck that noise, we live here, so we're gonna die here to literally the boogeyman.
Better
apparently.
better dying to the boogeyman at home than dying to the boogeyman in the middle of nowhere.
Fair enough.
All right, so we'll pick that up next time. So thank you all, ladies and gentlemen, so much for joining us for this session of Final Fantasy Chronicles of Eno. We'll see you next time. Until then, keep listening, people. Bye-bye.
Ta-ra.
Bye,
We're all
everyone.
gonna die.
Beware the bees.
And then a nightmare.
Please.
Completely undermined my evil laugh.